Welcome! Terry Watson here. I trust you're doing well, you guys. Thanks for joining and stepping forward. I want to start out by congratulating you for taking action. So the name of today's training is How to Start an Income-Generating Nonprofit as Quickly and Easily as Possible. You heard that right, you guys. You can make money doing great things in the community. Nonprofits are about making a difference, but at the same time, I want to teach you how you can do well by doing good. Now, I'm going to teach you this by showing you how I personally have launched 6 powerful, profitable nonprofits, how I've generated over $100 million in funding for the various nonprofits I've started and supported, and how I've made a great income while I've changed the world. I want you to notice the word profitable. I'm going to show you how nonprofits can profit, and you can too. Now, I want to make a disclaimer up front. I do not teach bake sale charities. I teach how to create profitable nonprofits, operating them like a business. So I teach and have always lived the abundant approach, not a scarcity approach or model. So, look, you guys, this is more about you and launching your nonprofit, but it's important that you learn a little bit about me and my background, so I'm going to share a brief intro. Now, I'm known as the nation's #1 nonprofit expert. I built my career and life's purpose in the nonprofit world for over 30 years. I'll share my journey of what led me into the nonprofit world in just a little bit, you guys, so stay tuned. But, I've learned throughout my journey in life, love, humor is so important. So I want to add on to this bullet so you really get to know me and my priorities. I'm also known as the nation's #1 most loved Meemaw by my grandkids. So those of you that haven't seen the Periscopes and Facebooks, and get connected with us. It's about making this world a better place for our kids and grandkids, and it's about embracing each other. So the important thing is my family. I've also created Purpose into Profit and Nonprofit University. Both of these are widely regarded as top training programs for nonprofit creation and funding in the market today. I've had the honor and privilege to advise celebrities, governors. I've even been appointed to a task force by the President of the United States. I worked with Harrison Ford, did the movie Regarding Henry, a lot about my journey that I'm going to share with you. The governor of New Mexico, Gary Johnson, in creating solutions that were common sense. A lot of fun working with Matt Sorum, the drummer for Guns N' Roses, and bringing music, and education, and arts back to our kids. And then because of all of that, because we took what seemed like a problem and turned it into an opportunity to bring a new solution. And because of that, I was appointed by the President of the United States to head up a task force to teach other states how to change our long-term care system. I'm going to talk to you more about that. So you guys, this is going to be your intro as you delve into this and go the next step of building your nonprofit. And then throughout that, I led in the design and passage of the Americans with Disabilities Act. What a journey. Again, I'm going to share more of that story in a little bit. Stay tuned. And then for the past decade, I've trained thousands of other people just like you guys, just like all of you today, how to start and grow nonprofits that are very profitable. You know, some of our nonprofits have been featured in Oprah Magazine, World News Tonight, and ABC, and just recently, one of our nonprofits was featured on the Jumbotron at the NASCAR event in front of over 100,000 people. So today, get out your pen and paper, you guys. Here's what I want you to write down. Here's what you're going to learn. How to start a nonprofit within weeks or days, maybe even today going online. How to fully use and implement my 6-step formula to launch and grow your nonprofit. I want to teach you how to attract funders and key partners that will help you grow beyond what you've ever dreamed. Then I'm going to teach you how to utilize modern, proven funding methods for nonprofit organizations. And then today we're going to learn how to make a nice income living a purpose-filled life by following your passion and helping others. By the way, you guys, it's okay to make great money doing this. Many of our students that are following our step-by-step system are making great money, and so should you. So why is this important now? We're all together right now. Well, because business as we know it is over. The new business landscape supports mission, purpose-driven companies with nonprofits leading the way. Think about cause marketing, you see, where every commercial, the cereal box in the store and have a pink ribbon on them, corporations are aligning with causes. They know that their bottom line has never looked better, their customer retention, their customer loyalty, when they're aligned with the cause. We're in the perfect place to be leading that. And our purpose economy is in full effect. You guys, the purpose economy is your roadmap to create a better future today. You know, like the information economy, which has driven innovation and economic growth until now. Aaron Hurst wrote The Purpose Economy. He explains that this new economic era is driven by connecting people to their purpose. Connecting people to their purpose. It's an economy where value lies in establishing purpose through serving needs greater than our own. This country needs you guys, enabling personal growth for you and at the same time building community. More and more nonprofits are using startup strategies that were once reserved for modern for-profit business models. So a series of shifts are happening right now in our economy. A record of number of folks are trading in conventional career paths to launch nonprofits that are rooted in local communities, making an impact. We're learning to share again, like what we were taught in kindergarten, right? We're sharing everything from bikes to cars to rides to extra rooms in our house. And most of what you've heard about nonprofits is dead wrong. They're not bake sale charities. They're profitable corporations. Nonprofits are all around you. Hospitals, universities, IKEA, Sesame Street, Kansas City Royals. I could go on and on. There's a huge opportunity for you. You know, the common theme of myths I've heard over the years in my teaching and reaching out to all of you, I want to help get rid of those myths right now. Get rid of that noise in your head from family, from friends saying, oh, that'll never work. Oh, you need to make a lot of money and then do a nonprofit. Get rid of that noise. Don't let your thoughts control you. Don't go into that fear mode. Open up. Control your thoughts. Listen to someone who's walked the walk for over 30 years and lived a very, very beautiful life. The myth I've heard throughout the years is They're hard to set up. Wrong. You can set it up in days. Another myth I've heard is, oh, it's so expensive. No way. You guys, you can set up at the state level for $100 or less. And then another one I've heard is you can't make money. Well, my students have found my system blow that myth clear out of the water. They're on a video, one of our students saying, my bottom line has never looked better. One of them is a dentist, and the other is a contractor. So that says a lot coming from them. Now, another myth, a lot of competition for funding. That's not true. Not the way we teach. We teach cutting-edge strategies, and we're going to go over those today. And we set the trend in bringing in funding to you and your team. You know, I didn't get my college degree until after I set up my nonprofit. And I started at the age of 22. I won't spill the beans yet, but I want you to remember that as we continue on, okay? Now, I want to show you how big this opportunity is. Forbes magazine says why you should run your business like a nonprofit. In the beginning, I said, I do not, never have, and do not teach bake sale charities. Forbes is validating that. Look at the title. Setting up and running a nonprofit is the single biggest vehicle available to contribute to others, live your passion, and make great money along the way. Here's another article. The greatest wealth transfer in history is underway. Between 2007 and 2061, total gifts to nonprofits are expected to be more than $27 trillion. That's the Huffington Post. $27 trillion? Do you hear that? Look at the opportunity in front of us. Here's another one. Harvard Business Review. The nonprofit sector's $100 billion opportunity. So now that you've seen that, let's dive into this. Is this for you? Well, think about it. If you're looking to start a nonprofit, you're looking to do something different, you're looking to be fulfilled and have that social significance, and you want to earn a great income, this is for you. Or maybe you have an existing nonprofit, you're with us today, and you want to grow it and expand it. This is for you. And you have that heart where you really want to help others. You're the one that friends call to just listen and let them talk things through. This is for you. And if you want to be loving what you do every day, this is for you. You know, I know so many people I meet every day. I'm so blessed to be surrounded by the people that are out there and impacting, want to make a difference. If you want to contribute to your community and leave a lasting legacy, this is for you. You know, if you have a job that you don't like, you want to do something different that satisfies you, you want to make money following your passion, this is for you. If you're worried about the world we're going to leave for our kids and grandkids because of all the turmoil, you're going to discover today how we're going to make those changes together. You know, I told you in the beginning when I did the intro, I have 3 grandkids now of 4 beautiful adult children who are all living their purpose and making the difference in this world. So I need to put that out there, too. That was still left out. But the 3 grandkids, I look them in the eye, and I can imagine what the world's going to be like when they grow up with all the turmoil and strife. But, you guys, I'm excited. I'm at peace. I know that I'm doing everything in my power to make sure they live in a more loving and connected place. And now we're going to bring you into that so you have that same excitement, knowing you're doing everything you can to make this a better world. So I want to go over some house rules now as we get more deeper into this. If you think you can do nothing and expect results, no. This takes dedication, commitment, belief. You've got to believe that what you're doing is truly the path that you need to be on. And if you think, oh, let me make the money first and then I'll work on my cause, it doesn't work that way. I'm telling you, get out there and share your mission and what you're doing with your nonprofit. The money comes rolling in. Now, I want you guys to understand, my results are not typical because I work hard. I have a lot of passion. I have a deep belief in my mission and myself. And that's what it takes. You guys, you're here now. So I believe in you. And so should you. Remember, let that noise go away. Don't listen to it. Control your thoughts. Believe. If you expect me to shake a magic wand, you guys, and get results, it doesn't happen that way. If you're here just to make money, it's not for you. But if you really want to make a difference, the money's there. You can live a very fulfilled life with social significance. You know, I want to share a story my mentor shared with me about Paul Allen. He's the co-founder of Microsoft. You guys, Paul made a fortune with Microsoft. We know that. And he was at the pinnacle of his career. He had everything. Material, yet he wasn't happy. And the more successful he looked in other people's eyes, the emptier he felt. Paul went out and he bought things and bigger things and more things, but that still didn't make him happy. So he bought bigger and better, and that still didn't bring happiness. Then one of his friends who was going to go take wheelchairs in the Middle East said, Paul, why don't you come with me? As he was delivering chairs to all the injured women and children, a little boy who was 4 ran up to him with tears in his eyes, thanking him over and over and over for the chair that he brought to his mom. He said it would finally allow his mom, injured when he was an infant, to leave her bed and play with him. You know, Paul looked at my mentors with tears in his eyes, and he said it was at that point he finally felt happy. You know, I tell you that story for a number of reasons, but what I want you to hang on is we're happiest when we're helping others. So most people who buy information products are not successful. I'm going to be blunt. It's just a simple fact. Let me give you an example. How many of you walk into a friend's and see a treadmill with clothes and hangers on it? It's not that the treadmill doesn't work. They haven't lost the weight they want. It's that the treadmill is not used for what it's intended for. So, guys, if you're willing to put this system we've developed into and follow the time, take the time and follow the system, right, you'll most likely get the results you're looking for and way beyond anything you ever imagined. So let me say that again. If you're willing to put in the time and follow the system, it's bigger than you've ever dreamed. That's how it worked for me. That's how it's working for our students. I had to figure it out on my own. You're not going to have to make the same mistakes I made. You're going to learn the exact way to do it by following my 6-step process. You'll not only learn from my successes, you guys, you'll learn from my mistakes. My hindsight is your foresight. So I have a confession. Yes, I have an advantage over most people. And yes, I have a name in the nonprofit world and a lifetime of connections I can call upon, because it did not start that way. Let me tell you my tale of tragedy to triumphant. And we all have stories. 30 years ago, we were living the all-American dream. living the all-American life. We had 2 baby boys. I'd just been married for 3 years. I was a musician, a concert pianist, a radical saxophone player. Loved blues and jazz music, had a band. We were living the all-American dream. We had a car payment, a house payment, right? We were in debt. Life was good. And with an instant, I lost control of my life and my destiny. It was through a near-fatal 3-wheeler accident that I learned that my consciousness existed beyond my physical body. You know, as my husband got a call saying, you need to call an ambulance, Sherry is down where she always rides, laying in the ground, bleeding from the head. So, Tracy was thinking, I'd find stitches, need stitches, call the ambulance. And he got down to the scene of the accident, and he said the last 20 feet were on his hands and knees. As I laid in the pool of blood, bleeding from my nose, mouth, ears, very ashen color. The paramedics arrived, and they called me DOA, dead on arrival. They couldn't get a pulse. They couldn't the heartbeat. They put those defibrillators on me that shocks your heart. As my husband lay there with me, praying, sending energy to keep me here, keep me alive, and we'll live the life that we're supposed to. We'll live our purpose. Went to the emergency room, and my family, his family, everyone was there by then. And they called the chaplain in and took him to the quiet room. And they said, she's not going to live. She has a severe closed head injury with a brainstem contusion. And hours later, they came back in and said, if she's a fighter, then she has a 50-50 chance. And they said, get a room ready. I laid there in a coma. You see, it was like I was trapped in my body, but I couldn't respond. I knew what was going on. I heard him. I just couldn't respond. So as I laid there and talked about, now she has pneumonia, she might not make it through the night. And I see my family so grief-stricken, so sad. And I learned the power of my mind because my motivation was to let them all know I was in there fighting like you know what, to take some of that grief from them, that helpless feeling from them. It was a pivotal moment the first time I realized I was not my body. My body was a shell for something much larger, my consciousness, the power of my mind. And throughout that journey, laying for weeks in a coma that they said I was in a coma, I survived, but I was severely injured and paralyzed. Before the accident, I believed there were limits. We stay in our boxes. We're taught in school to live in our box, color in the lines. But after my almost fatal accident, I experienced a shift. I realized that was a myth, the power of the mind. You don't have to have a tragic accident to find that purpose, to learn that power of the mind, to believe in what we're doing right now. Believe your nonprofit is going to take care of you financially, have you live a beautiful life while you're changing the world, while you're rebuilding community, while you're helping animals, while you're helping veterans. Doesn't have to be a huge civil rights legislation. It could be in your own backyard, bringing community gardens into the schools, teaching kids the importance of nutrition. So as I moved through that and lay there in a coma, and kept saying, now what? Why me? Why me? We hear that all throughout the country. In the downturn in our economy in 2008, and people lost a lot of stuff and houses and real estate, and why me? Going through a tragic divorce, why me, right? So I had door one. I could continue to feel sorry for myself, lose hope, and wither away. Or I had door two. I could enter a higher calling. I could summon the warrior in me. I could make a difference in my life, people around me. You know, it was my mentor that sat by my hospital bed every day and finally said one day, look, I know you're angry at the world. And I know you're laying there saying, why me, and having a pity party. And boy, did he know me. But then he said something very powerful. He said, you know, medically, they can't explain why you lived or why you're even here. So it's time to change that why into what. What's my purpose? All of us go through this. That was a life-defining moment in my life. I discovered my purpose. Imagine becoming awakened to something that stirs your soul so deeply that you're compelled into action. Well, it's not like the movies where I woke up and started talking. So I chose door two, and it wasn't easy because it wasn't like the movies. I had to learn how to talk, how to walk, the things we take for granted. But I was given a gift at an early age to not take things for granted. You know, we're born, we swallow. I never had to learn that. Wow. And my husband, Tracy, knew it was going to be a long journey. When they lifted me into a wheelchair when I was in intensive care unit, they sat me in, took me down to physical therapy, laid me on the mat, and started teaching me to roll. They were teaching me how to roll. Weeks later, I started learning how to crawl. That's how I learned to walk. It was a long journey, guys. Even the smallest things we take for granted, I learned to appreciate. My journey took me to rehab. I had different surgeries. My teeth died. It goes on and on. We all have our journeys. And taken me years to come back, that because of that, I found my purpose. And you can too. I felt permanent paralysis today. I've considered medically disabled for over 30 years. Yeah, I want you to notice the word medically. Even though I was labeled as disabled by society, I found my purpose helping others by forging a path to the most comprehensive civil rights legislation in the history of the world, the Americans with Disabilities Act. We changed our world. A few of us came together, and just think about it. Back then, we didn't have computers, internet, email, cell phones. We built grassroots coalitions. God, every one of you have a story. We need to listen to each other. That's what we did in the disability community to start putting programs, supports together to empower people to control their life and destiny. The last nonprofit I started was with a $100,000 seed grant. That's what we're going to go in today in the training. I want to teach you how all of you can start with that first initial funding, that seed grant, that seed money. I got mine from the state of New Mexico, and I'll go into that. But from there, I grew it into a multi-million-dollar nonprofit, helping, changing the lives of thousands of people and making a great living for me and my family. So I grew that last nonprofit to 40 full-time employees, 400 contractors, had my own bank, investment portfolio, IRA accounts, company vehicles. You guys, all of us, every one of you right now today in this class, take your story, whether it's going through divorce or you lost a spouse to the treatment they used for his or her cancer, whatever your story, everybody has a calling. We're all looking for the same thing. What inspires you? What motivates you? Can you heal from it? It's time to say yes to life. We have to start saying yes to life experiences and help others who are on that same path. So I learned throughout my journey that being challenged in life is inevitable. Being defeated is optional. What do you really want in life? You have a story. We all do. Well, whatever your story is, think about it. Take that story and now create supports and services that you needed, that you wanted, that would have helped you be empowered and live a life of destiny. Help others on that same path. So my new mission I want to share with you is we launch into developing yours. My mission is to launch and empower at least 10,000 nonprofits to make the world a more loving and connected place. So you guys join our movement. Be part of us. And, you know, I love life so much that I follow my passion. I live, I walk, I eat, I breathe, I sleep what I'm teaching. And my passion right now is sharing, teaching, going everywhere and giving of myself. So you guys, let's dive in. We're going to talk about 6 steps now today. I'm going to teach you how to launch and grow a nonprofit. So we're going to start with step 1, nonprofit creation. Step 2, a fundable plan. And I'm going to go into more detail and give you examples, share our student successes that have followed our system. Number 3, marketing and outreach. Number 4, connecting to funding. Connecting. You're going to hear me say that a lot. Number 5, multiple streams of funding. And then number 6, how to implement it and then develop those growth strategies. So let's dive right into step 1, nonprofit creation. You can have a nonprofit within a few days. So let's get started. First of all, your name. Let me give an example. Community Solutions Institute. You want a name that will align you with the cause marketing that's going on in corporate America. So your name is your brand. So some folks like the acronyms, Community Solutions Institute, CSI. So the name is important for you to think about and keep it broad. Don't go into the geographic and make it specific to your area, because nonprofits grow, and when we're long gone, they're going to continue on leaving that legacy. So the next thing we want to develop in this creation is your mission statement. Your mission statement is what lights people up, brings people in, gets people on fire to be involved and be a part of this. And then your board of directors. Your board of directors are like your power team. Bring in those that you serve also. This is not about giving a hand up or helping those poor people. This is about empowering people to control their life and destiny. So if you're serving veterans, you want veterans on your board of directors. For us, we created that one nonprofit in disability, and then over 800 later on throughout the time. We said 51% of our board of directors must be people with disabilities. So from the top down, you have that whole paradigm of making an impact with and for the people you're serving. Nothing about us without us. Bring folks in to help build. This is your power team. So now that you've got your name, your mission, your board of directors, now we're going to go into your state filing information, okay? So it's very simple. Go to Secretary of State and Google whatever your choice is. and look up business filings. And there's LLCs, and there's different corporations, and then there's nonprofit corporations, or not-for-profit, or NPO. Click on that, and you're going to file the Articles of Incorporation, okay? The Articles of Incorporation. Once you do that, you fill out that simple one-page form. You mark the boxes that it's a public charity, and you want this corporation to be perpetual so that it continues on. Print that out, mail it where it says to mail to the state, stick in your check, or whatever it is, $25, $35, less than $100, it'll tell you, and mail it to the state. Some states do it online now, so if you're a nonprofit immediately. Some states you mail it, and it'll come back within a few days or a couple of weeks. Once you get that filing back, it's going to have the seal of the state, and it says you are now a nonprofit corporation, Community Solutions Institute. You take that, and then you go get your EIN number. You just go to irs.gov, type in EIN, and it's a very simple process, just like any other corporation you've set up. If you have, if you haven't, you go through a simple set of questions, and they'll send you immediately an EIN number. Once you get that EIN number, you go set up your bank account. So I want to go over some mission statements. I told you during this teaching now, I'm going to use examples and samples and real-life students that are walking the walk, that have followed our system for their success. The mission statement is very important. As you're getting ready to do your filing, right, today, right, we're going to get on this right away. The mission statement really is that defining point for you on getting people involved, on building that corporation from the ground up, on getting that seed money to get you going. But we want to keep the mission statements broad. Right now, you might think, okay, I want to build some community gardens and provide education. Okay, but as that grows, we have one of our students who started out like that, and then as a group started seeing and meeting all the community members that were coming forth. There were veterans, there were seniors, there were youth, and many of them unemployed. And so she said, well, why can't we start helping them set up businesses going to farmers market with their organic produce? So instead of just taking that one simple mission, to broaden the mission for growth. So let me give you an example. I want to share with you one of our great students who's followed our system very successfully, and she's a little farmer's wife from Nebraska. And when she first sat with us, she said, you know, I'm just a farmer's wife. But she had the passion. She wanted to really help babies. That was her passion. But as we got deeper into it, she wanted to bring families stronger. She wanted to help them with support. So the name of her nonprofit, that's it. I'm going to Grandma's. And look at her mission statement after working through it with her and our team. And instead of just saying to work with babies, to work with little infants, we grew it and said to provide programs and services that foster family and community interaction and strive to preserve family life. That allowed her first funding, that seed money that came in, was to do a financial literacy program for youth. Her next one was working with a historical society to do a videoing, to do some YouTubes of young people going into the nursing homes and interviewing World War II veterans. She was striving to preserve family life and developing and fostering that community interaction. So do you see how your nonprofit's going to grow? Here's another one, the Patriot Project. This is a group of veterans that came to us, and first we're calling it the Veterans Project. Again, as we broaden their mind and their thinking. First, it was to help the veterans who protect, defend, and serve our country, right? But as we started thinking about teachers and firefighters, and as they started connecting in the community, finding what people needed, they broadened their name to the Patriot Project, not just focused on veterans, although that was their focus, that allowed them to grow. And more people got involved. And they instead of saying to help veterans protect, defend, it's to help the men and women who protect, defend, and serve our country build wealth and achieve financial security. So by broadening their mission statement, they started out with a Veterans Project, and this is so cool, you'll love it. Their first seed money, their first funding, came to take 5 veterans and their spouses to real estate training, paying their airfare, their rooms, their investment fee. All of that was included in the funding that they got to start teaching veterans how to build wealth and achieve financial security. Awesome, isn't it? Here's another mission statement. Some of you might like the shorter ones. I like the shorter ones because, man, when you're out there connecting, we're going to go into, you want to get people's attention right away. You want to grab people in the hallway at the legislature. They're at the Rotary Club meeting. Hey, I'm with Alternate Community Housing. We're empowering families with knowledge for successful living. So what do? Oh, we do housing counseling, we do financial. Then you can go into all the array of things that you do. And here's another great one, a really good example. A young gal came to us who just graduated with a master's degree in green technology. She was way ahead of the curve. She was already talking to cities and counties on how to implement green technologies. But her first vision comes to us where she was going to build green housing, right? But as we talk more and more about her depth of knowledge and how she could really train and educate cities and counties and developers and contractors, look what we added, one word, to create affordable green housing. We added opportunities. So now we can create green housing, but we also can do training and education. So to create affordable green housing opportunities and foster the needs of people throughout the community. So now got you really thinking about your mission statement. Now you're ready to file it. So work on that mission statement today. Come up with a name that's going to be your brand. Those 3 to 5 people. You know, board of directors, your power team, 3 to 5 people. It can be you, 2 others, a family member, a business colleague, a partner, and you're ready to file your state filing. So now we're a nonprofit corporation, okay? So now let's go to the next step. This is where I said I would give you some examples. Turn your nonprofit idea now into a fundable business plan. So we talked a lot about finding your purpose and how I found mine and how each of us has a story and our own journey. Now taking your journey and turning it into purpose. How do we turn that into a fundable business plan? How are we going to get that first seed money to really launch us and get us going? And the great example is one of our students, again, who followed our system, has had success beyond what they'd ever imagined. They took their 28 years of being sober, 28 years. They've lived a life of freedom from alcohol addiction, and they want to help others. And so they developed a sober living home. They took young firefighters, veterans, entrepreneurs that got off on the wrong track. They gave them a second chance. They gave them a place to come instead of jail, getting picked up for DWI, instead of getting tangled up in our correction system. They took that idea, their purpose, and they started developing a fundable business plan. Let's do a sober living house, right? That rescuing animals. Here's another one. One of our students just recently that is passionate about what's happening with our animals that are left behind due to foreclosure, that are being neglected, that the animal shelters can't take anymore. Well, we're working on setting up an equestrian center, taking animals, and he has a wonderful horse rescue program. So now expanding that through his nonprofit and turning it into a fundable business, because we're saying, we could take those horses, bring veterans in that are dealing with PTSD, and do an equestrian center. So we've turned that idea now into a fundable business plan. Develop that project or program that ties into your business plan, okay? Now, this is where I really want you to start doing your due diligence today, because we've got your nonprofit, you're ready to set it up. Now looking at what's fundable. There's so many revenue streams that we're going to go into that are not available to for-profits. So here's your due diligence. I want you to go to your state website and go look up your governor's initiatives. Every governor in this country has a different initiative. Some want to really reduce homelessness. Some want to create jobs. Some want to bring new business in. Some want to reduce our recidivism rate in the prisons. So look at your governor's initiatives. Go to your state website. Look at their press releases. What have they been talking about lately? That's where a lot of the funding is at the state level. And then I want you to go and look up your consolidated plan, wherever your county is, Bernalillo County, whatever your county is, Marin County. Go in there and look up your consolidated plan, because that's where your county and city initiatives are, okay? And that's all tied to funding. That's CDBG. You're going to hear this over and over and over. It's the lowest hanging fruit for you right now to start getting that funding in and start connecting with the folks that have that funding. It's Community Development Block Grant. So when your city and county do their 5-year consolidated plan, they present it to HUD. Every year they have to draw down that funding. They draw down CDBG funding. It's local money for local initiatives, whether it's housing, whether it's youth, seniors. I want to give you an example of a consolidated plan. You're going to love this. I picked out Las Vegas. We have a student in Las Vegas who's following our system, doing a beautiful nonprofit. Well, looking at the Las Vegas Consolidated Plan, they say the objective of our Consolidated Plan funding are to target low and moderate income residents, special needs populations, homelessness, youth, low and moderate income residential areas. Over the past 4 years, the nonprofits the city partners with leveraged over $61 million in conjunction with our entitlement funds. It's wide open in Las Vegas. You're doing a program helping young adults coming out of foster care. There you are. Low and moderate income residential areas, special needs populations. You're creating that renewable energy program that's going to create jobs. You're going to help the youth get a career and have hope. So go into your consolidated plan and you start looking at how can we take your business and wrap that funding around it. Now let's look at the governor's initiatives. This is so cool. The California Governor's Initiative is a homeless initiative. It's an interagency effort aimed at reducing homeless. It includes a funding program of $10 million for supportive housing projects. What an opportunity. I'm on the phone right now. Our students are on the phone right now. First of all, who's involved with this interagency effort. How do I get a list of those people? Because they could live right next door to you. It could be your car mechanic. It could be your neighbor. Think about it. And that $10 million is going to nonprofit corporations to develop support and services and housing to reduce homelessness. That's you now. And look what I found in Alabama. We have a great student in Alabama who's following our system. Alabama governor announced the launch of the Justice Reinvestment Initiative. It includes a funding program of $126 million over the next 5 years for recidivism reduction. Because as I dived into that and started reading more about it and calling and connecting, and our student was on the phone meeting with people, they're looking for nonprofits that can bring in substance abuse, that can bring in a whole new way of healing, of wellness, talking about the holistic approach. They're looking at housing. Your nonprofit is wide open because this whole country, from the Department of Justice on down, is talking about looking at prevention. We've got to change the way we do things. We can no longer afford to have what's happening in our juvenile justice and our justice program and our prison system. You know, we put somebody coming out of prison on a bench at 2 a.m, give them $5 and say, good luck. And we wonder why our recidivism rate is 70, 80%. They're looking for someone like you with a nonprofit corporation to step forward and say, let's connect, let's get together. What can we do? How can we help? Maybe your expertise is in naturopathic medicine. You can bring a new way of healing. Maybe your expertise is in developing housing. You're a contractor. You could be the one that develops that supportive housing. Maybe you're a trainer, an educator. You can develop a advocacy program that helps connect these prisoners and their families. You know, we did a beautiful program that was funded with one of our students to bring children together whose parents were incarcerated. And then through that program, started working with the prisoners and the kids before they were released to start developing that bond, breaking that cycle. So guys, it's so awesome when you start looking at all the initiatives. Your mind's going to blow up. So step 3, marketing and outreach. Okay, you've got your nonprofit set up. You already got that now, that idea, that business plan, that fundable idea in your mind. You've looked at the governor's initiative, your city and county and consolidated plan. You know where you're going. So you want to develop that one-page summary, that fact sheet, you know, with your logo on top, with your name, your mission statement. On the sidebar, your list of your board of directors, your power team. And you want to have that 1-minute elevator speech where you start passing out your fact sheet, whether you're at Kiwanis or Rotary or Realty Meeting or Bible study, wherever you already go, just start sharing that. Tell people what you're doing. Hey, I'm with Community Solutions Institute. We are creating opportunities for people to control their life and destiny through long-term care, through creating employment opportunities. We're reducing food insecurities by bringing a whole new way of bringing food and organic foods into our country. You want to be fired up and you want to believe. And then have examples of the programs and projects of people you're serving, or if they even plan to serve. One of our mentoring students that I was with last week, who's following our system, had developed a whole fundable business plan with our support of me and our team, and was talking about not people they're serving, it's who they're going to serve. And they're developing a model off of Oregon. They're following that same model. So it doesn't have to be something you've done right now. It's what you're planning to do. And using other people as an example. And then start thinking about a website. You want take that fact sheet. We have so many of our successful students following this system that take their program summary and they just cut and paste it into their website. They put the mission statement, team members, all that on there. Let me give you an example. We have a national nonprofit led by one of our team members called Living Legacy Institute. Look how it has the mission up front, creating solutions to empower people and strengthen communities. And then look at their primary focus, veteran housing, transitional housing, different types of housing. So that's a very simple program summary that you start passing out everywhere you go. You start emailing it. You start yelling from the rooftops what you're doing, what you've embarked on. Now we're going to go to my favorite step because after 30 years, this is the insider secret I'm giving you. Get funding to your nonprofit that just keeps on going. The funding keeps on coming. The funding keeps on growing because you're connecting, okay? Connect, connect, connect. I cannot say that enough. So you're connecting to funding. Well, connect to whom? And what do you say? Well, you're going to connect to state legislators. You're going to connect to city councilors, to county commissioners, to mayors, to governors, to their assistants, to their chief of staff, to their legislative aides. You guys, they're people just like us. And so think about it. We elect them and we pay taxes, right? So we're hiring and firing them. So what do you say? That 1 minute elevator speech. You get them excited. You get them to believe they're dealing with state budgets. They're dealing with city and county budgets. They're dealing with deficits. You come in with the right entity, a nonprofit, that can receive the funding they're working with, and you bring a solution. You go in and talk to them about how you can take your expertise. You've been a contractor for 25 years. You want to be part of the governor's initiative and help reduce homelessness. They're going to embrace you and bring you in because they're public servants. No matter what you hear about those crooked politicians, get that noise out of your head. That's a myth. They're elected to serve us, to be public servants. You know, one of our students who used our system very successfully, she learned that by using the connecting part of our system, she got seed funding and grew it from there. She went and connected with a state legislator. And how do you find them? Look them up. Get on the website. Look up state legislators in your county. It's right there. And they even now, a lot of them have websites that talk about their hobbies and their kids and what's important to them, what committees they serve on. So you want to get your due diligence done so that you can go in and connect with them. So she had done this. And brand new, her nonprofit was maybe a week old, and she's connecting. She's going, I have a nonprofit. I want to be able to help our community. She didn't even know what her programs were, but she knew that she had a great ranch, a great place where she could, whether it was an employment center, whether it was a cultural center, she wanted to be that one that made a difference and that helped rebuild her community. She connected with the legislator that represented that area and said, I want to make a difference. I want to be part of the solution. I want to make a really big difference in our community. And this legislator said, well, I've just passed a bill to help people stop smoking. They're using ceremonial tobacco and using it for recreational. And she thought, She said, oh, I can create a program to do some teaching and to educate kids on the harms of that, and we could do it at the ranch. Instead of sitting them in the classroom where just say no, you're going to die of cancer, when kids are invincible. But having them with other peers, having a little 12-year-old girl talk about what it was like watching her grandma go through cancer and get into a feeding tube and tracheotomy, and talk about powerful for the other kids. So as we talked through being able to do this program, we then said to the representative, why is this important to you? Why did you carry this bill? Okay? You want to find out what they're passionate about. They're people. They have passions and dreams and purposes. And he said, I lost my dad and my grandpa to cancer because they took tobacco and took it from ceremonial to recreational. And it's my purpose to teach others. That's powerful. So because of that connection, because we knew we were just honoring his purpose and we were going to make him proud, he stayed with us every step of the way to make sure that funding came to us. So who can you connect with that wants to be part of your nonprofit because it hits home on a personal level? Go look up those legislators, city and county councilors and commissioners, mayors. What are they passionate about? What committees are they on? So that when you connect with them, be a person and nonprofit of value. So say you're working with a homeless shelter and you start telling friends and business partners, colleagues, family that you're going to help solve the homelessness in your community with your nonprofit. Or you're helping young adults transitioning out of foster care with your nonprofit. Or you're providing supports for young adults with autism with your nonprofit. Or you're opening up employment opportunities for veterans with your nonprofit. Or you're bringing healthy food and nutrition to the community with the community garden and education. Any program you're doing that I just listed and more that you have, you're going in with a handshake, not a handout. People are going to be lined up to support you and the mission of your nonprofit. People want to contribute. You're providing the platform. One of my friends is known as a connector. He's featured in Forbes. His key to his tremendous success is that he adds value first. He calls me every year on my birthday. Those little things go a long way. So be a person at value and make sure your nonprofit adds that value. Okay, step 5, show me the money, right? Multiple streams of funding. So we've got grants, local, state, and federal. We've got seed grants. We've got pilot projects. So let me give you an example of one of our students who followed our system. She got a seed grant at initial money to teach financial literacy to young adults aging out of foster care. Another student got her first pot of money, that $100,000. She got $10,000 right up front to start a community garden. And it's grown from there. Because now she's doing education, she's doing farmers markets, she's teaching people how to set up businesses. It grows and grows and grows. I got my first $100,000 seed money from the state because I connected with a legislator. I just started asking questions. I didn't have solutions. So I knew when I went to a nursing home and all those people were tied to bars and nobody wanted to be there and families didn't want to put them there, and we were spending so much more money to warehouse them, I knew there had to be a different way. So connecting with the legislator, saying, what I'm seeing is happening, not right. What can we do? I was able to have the legislator go, you know what? I'm going to get you that $100,000 seed money to set up your nonprofit, to start a peer support program so we can start working through this, right? Well, I want you guys to know I am not a technical writer, so don't worry about a lot of paperwork. And I'm going to show you how to do a cut and paste strategy, and I'm so proud of that. So online fundraising, crowdfunding. You guys, you can do this right now. Right now. There's so many different platforms. Just choose them. GoFundMe, Indiegogo, Kickstarter. I mean, it goes on and on. Pick a platform and send that invitation to your family, to your friends. Share it on social media. Let people know you've started a nonprofit and here's what you're doing. I got a crowdfunding now. I'm going to raise money to set up an employment center led by a veteran for veterans. I get people excited. And you know what this does? This holds you accountable because now you put it out there. You said you're going to do this. And it also heightens your visibility so people are going, wow, I want to be a part of this. And then another stream of funding is a fee for service. Yes, you guys, nonprofits can charge for their services. You know, nonprofits are corporations. Hospitals, universities, Sesame Street, IKEA, they all make money. They charge for their services. I'll give an example for me, not just our students, but because I walked the walk for over 30 years. I developed a program called the Personal Care Option. It was just a common sense solution I was telling you with that legislator going, why are we warehousing people? Why are we spending 90% of our long-term care money, our Medicaid dollars, our biggest budget in the state? Why is that going toward institutions? Why can't people live at home and hire and fire their own attendant and create jobs? It made sense to the governor, to the legislators, because we were creating employment opportunities. We were redirecting funding to make sense of it. So since our nonprofit was operated as business, we said, okay, state, if we do this program, we need to be the fiscal agent and do the payroll for people coming out of nursing homes that are living at home, that are their own employer now, that hire and fire their own attendant, because they don't know how to take out FICA and SUDA and FUDA and all those fun things, right? So I'm going to charge you, state, for my service, because I'm a business, at $200 a month per person to process payroll, to help train them how to be employers, how to go through an interview process, right? Within 6 months, guys, we'd gotten 200 people out of nursing homes. Do the math. We were making close to $50,000 a month residual income that took $5,000 a month to operate as a business, right? So we took that profit and we grew the money so we could expand our services and what people needed that we were serving. There's a nonprofit in L.A. It's led by folks coming out of prison, and they manufacture tortilla chips, and they put a little label on the chips that says, jobs, not jails. They sell those chips for a hefty profit. That profit comes back into their nonprofit, and they develop even more things and grow their nonprofit. So the fee for service is wonderful. The biggest opportunity in front of us right now, you guys, is the power of free real estate. The power of free real estate is at the cutting-edge strategy that the Power of Purpose has worked on. We have the leading expert in the nation leading this in our team. He's been in Forbes and Fortune. His credibility is like none other. He's been doing this for over 20 years. He's done over $250 million, $250 million worth of real estate transactions for nonprofits. So we're going to take you into the proprietary software we have, how we developed it, how we reach donors, and how we create win-win-win for donors, for nonprofits, for the communities, and for you in the funding to bring in the power of free real estate. So we'll spend some more time on that. Now, let's move to step 6. This is when you're going to implement all of the other 5 steps, and now we're going to grow it. We've got that first seed money in. We did that first program, like for me, that Simple Peer Support Program with $100,000. Our student who started with $100,000 to do education and training program, and then grew it from there. Another student who followed our system who started out with seed money to do financial literacy. So whatever your passion is, whatever that fundable business plan is to start with, we're going to get the seed money. Now, step 6, we're going to grow it. You know, for me, getting people out of nursing homes and taking that money, I grew up from there. Once they got out of their homes and lived back home, we needed to figure out transportation and employment opportunities. And so we started building that whole program. We changed the paradigm and the mindset of long-term care. And on top of that, we grew supports and services to meet the needs of people to control their life and destiny. We created over 400 jobs in little tiny rural New Mexico. We were the first state announced to have a positive Medicaid budget. Think about it. Taxpayers, that's us, we're footing the bill for $50,000 to $100,000 a year for us to warehouse our moms, our dads, people with disabilities, and their quality of life. And now in New Mexico, it's costing us less than $14,000 a year, and we've created a job. We want to document results, achievements. We developed affordable housing, employment center, transportation. And to document results and achievements, we took elders to the legislature to show them the difference we're making in people's lives. You know, there are so many ways you can highlight success stories and the change you've brought to your community and the lives of those you've helped. One of the folks I told you I love working with, Matt Soren, the drummer for Guns N' Roses, whose nonprofit is to bring music and arts back to our kids. Well, by highlighting the success stories and change he's brought in the community, bringing that to donors. We went to his gala in Hollywood, and we're part of it. And I tell you what, the most powerful success story you can see is right there, having it in front of you. He brought in a choir of young boys, 9 to 12, and they sang angelic. He had brought 1,000 instruments to the low-income schools, and now he was bringing back music. And now these little kids were up there singing for us at the gala. Now came in their white shirts and black ties, and they talked about what music had done for them. Their brothers were in Crips and Bloods and gangs, and they had lost brothers to gunshot wounds, and they were on a different path now because they were given hope. They were given the resources. Talk about highlighting success stories. You know, this was so great. One of our students is following our system. She shares story after story of women veterans who are sharing the impact of her nonprofit and how it's made a difference in their lives by giving them a safe place to open up. Another student who shared her success stories, who followed our system, they're the ones that do sober living, you guys, and they said the young fireman's family said the change in their son has impacted their entire family and friend circle in huge ways. So highlight those. And I'm telling you, there is nothing that gives you that kind of reward. It's infinitely rewarding. Having someone tell you how what you did impacted their life, you know, there's no kind of satisfaction, fulfillment that you're going to get. Making tons and tons of money doesn't give you that deep fulfillment that does. So you're here with me now. You've heard how this works. You know that starting a nonprofit is a great way to earn income helping others while living your passion. So if you're someone who can really help people through a nonprofit corporation, you might be wondering, how you can implement all the tactics and strategies that I just showed you quickly and easily. Because that's why I created Purpose into Profits. It's the exact system that I've used for over 30 years. And now my students all over the world are using the same system. So if you want to launch and grow a nonprofit and help a lot of people, live your passion every day, make a great income, this is specifically for you. Okay, now you guys, this is how we're going to do it. There's a 15-hour step-by-step training modules, audio and video. We had a crew from Hollywood come and film it, so it's really interactive, top quality. You know, on the commercials and on TV shows, every 3 seconds there's a different angle. So you guys are going to get state-of-the-art quality on that, the way we designed it. And it's like taking me and my team home with you. So let's pull back the curtain, because I've made this so detailed, yet so simple. It's like a paint by number. So I'm going to show you what's in the entire system now. So we have Module 1. We're going to look at the 6 steps to a nonprofit roadmap, the fundamentals, case studies, and then you can go into Module 2, your purpose into action. Module 3, launching your nonprofit. Module 4, the power of free real estate. And then we'll go into the next Module 5. You'll love this one. Show me the money. And then from there, we'll go into Module 6, matches made in heaven. Nonprofit and for-profit partnerships. Module 7, the connecting mastery. Remember that word, connecting, I said we'd use all the time. Connecting. Module 8, getting grants. Module 9, successful grant templates. And Module 10, our 6-step roadmap review. Well, along with all this, you'll have a great training manual, a whole disc with our forms, our templates, applications, everything that we use today. So let's go into detail now. Module 1, I want to go over some of this so you're going to see what you're going to be getting here. So the getting started. Well, we're going to go over the nonprofit fundamentals, and that's so that you can understand the basics and have a clear understanding of what you're doing. Then part 2, the case studies of our successful nonprofits, so you can learn from those who are walking the walk. You know, Brian Tracy reminds us, no one lives long enough to learn everything they need to learn starting from scratch. To be successful, we absolutely, positively have to find people who have already paid the price to learn the things that we need to learn so that we can achieve our goals. And then the next part, empowering your passion so you can live a fulfilled life, financially and socially significant. And then the next one is a 6-step nonprofit roadmap. That's so you can have a step-by-step system to follow that will lead you to the path of success. So now the next module, you're going to go into your purpose into action. Well, we want to identify your core values so you can have guiding principles for your organization. And that way you attract like-minded folks with a clear direction to follow. And then part 2, developing a powerful mission statement. Remember, I gave you samples, examples, we went over that. That's so that you can attract the people and resources you need to grow up beyond your wildest imagination. Now, Module 3, launching your nonprofit 101. Okay, we'll start with the step-by-step nonprofit incorporation strategy. That's so that you can build a solid foundation that you can grow upon, so you can have the support you need. And then the next section is selecting your board of directors. We talked about your power team and forming them. That's how you can gain insight of what it takes to work with one of the largest groups of people that are going to take you and make you amazing. And then part 3, drafting your bylaws. That's all of this, step 1, 2, and 3. All of that, you guys, builds that solid foundation we're talking about. And then look at this, part 4, a bonus session with a special advisor to Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. You guys, you can gain insight of what it takes to work with one of the largest foundations on the planet. So the next one, module 4, you're going to be listening to learning the biggest opportunity in the nonprofit world today, the power of free real estate. That's so you can start making a difference right now. And then turning real estate into revenue so you can build and grow your nonprofit with no limits. Okay, and then we'll go into the part everyone loves, show me the money. You're going to identify funding sources. You're going to learn how to connect to grants. That's so you can start building relationships that lead to initial funding, continued growth. Remember, connect, connect, connect. And then connecting to multiple streams of funding so you can grow and support the needs of the folks you're serving and grow it from there. So the next module in the training is matches made in heaven. You know, partnering your nonprofit with the for-profit so you can leverage the goodwill and the financial part, the cause marketing we talked about, all the things that go along with that. And then part 2, the bonus expert panel session, so you can learn from those who are walking the walk daily. And then the teaching and the training on the connecting mastery, awakening the leader in you. You guys, you know what they say? How you can light yourself on fire so the others will come to watch? Be fired up. Be persistent. Be believing in yourself. Believe. We believe in you. I believe in you. You're here. So that bonus session, awakening the leader in you. And then the next part, getting backstage passes with people in seats of power. That's how you can connect with legislators, city and county leaders. There we go again, connect. The next module, another show me the money, getting grants. We're going to show you in our training award-winning grant writing strategies so that you have a sustainable nonprofit and don't get on that fundraising treadmill. And then the next part, developing a proposal budget to implement your project. You guys, that's so important so that you can operate as a business, paying yourself a salary, your team a salary, rent, utilities, office space, travel, all the things it takes to set up and run a business. The next module, you're going to dive into successful grant templates. You know, looking at a live demo of an award-winning grant. So you can learn from someone who's very successfully done this for over 30 years. You guys, I learned more being a grant reviewer for the federal government, so I'm passing that on to you for the education and knowledge now that you'll have. And then part 2, this is great, the grant submission strategies. That's so you can avoid the common mistakes and pitfalls that prevent folks from getting the grant award. It's simple things like missing the deadline, not putting enough copies in. So you'll learn a lot on that one. Part 3, the cut and paste award-winning grant proposals. I told you I'm so proud of that, being known as a queen of cut and paste, because I'm not a technical writer. You're going to learn the ins and outs and the beautiful part of that. Now, the last one is your roadmap review. You want to look at the live Q&A bonus video. We've included a live grant review panel, and then the road to success. The training manual is amazing. It's an A to Z blueprint manual that includes 30 plus years of my foundational strategies, techniques, It's my manual. It's the complete step-by-step authority, you guys, in the nonprofit world. And you'll have access to all of that. And the templates, tens of thousands of dollars worth in your templates alone, not having to go pay and create the forms, the applications, the checklists, everything that I use, our team uses today with every student we have that's following our system. So you know what, you guys, you're getting the exact same system that I use to launch 6 highly successful nonprofits and generated over $100 million in funding. So now the investment, well, at this point, you're probably wondering what the investment is. You know, we had folks come to trainings, folks paid $4,000 to learn a similar system that I sold in the past. And this program is equally or more valuable than the last one. The things we've added included, but way more affordable. You guys, the investment today is $497 for all of that. But it gets way better. We reward people that take action. We know action takers are the ones that have great success. So all of you in this class now, the first 10 people who order get it for $297. Everything we just went over, the manual, everything, the videos, the audios, $297. So what I want you to do now, you guys, it's time to take action. Click the button below now. All you have to do is sign up, you guys, and then you'll create a password, and then you're going to get instant access to this entire system so you can start now. Do it. Start now. It's going to be at your fingertips in the next few minutes. And along with that, we have the best guarantee in the industry, you guys. 30-day guarantee that takes out all the risk. Test drive the course for 30 days, risk-free. And if it's not even better than I've been talking about and describing, I'll refund your entire purchase. And you guys, that's at your discretion. So there's no question asked. There's no wiggle room. Look at that guarantee. There's no risk. Sign up now. We've added some bonuses. I'm so excited about this one. Purpose into Profits live 3-day training. We're going to bring everyone together. We're going to harness the energy. We're going to make this group. We're going to bring solutions to this country. So at this live 3-day training, our global summit, bringing thought leaders, bringing all of us together. We're going to include free attendance for you and your guests at our 3-day hands-on, full immersion live training with me and my expert team. I can't wait for you guys to meet our team and for them to meet you. Now, we haven't done a global summit for a while, so there's a lot of energy and momentum around this. So sign up now because this is going to be on a first-come, first-served basis. I know from our team meeting we only have a few seats available, so sign up now and this will be one of your bonuses. We included another bonus, monthly Q&A resource calls for a full year so that you can get all of your questions answered and you can learn what's working right now for us and all of our students. We included another bonus, one-on-one consulting call with one of my purpose consultants. Amazing group that we have living with purpose, with passion, brilliant, following their hearts. They're going to work with you to create a personalized game plan for you and your nonprofit to follow so that you can get the personal one-on-one attention specific to your needs and to your mission. So let's recap it, you guys. We've got Purpose into Profits, 10 step-by-step modules, a training manual, templates, then the free attendance to a live event for you and a guest. That can be your spouse, your business partner, children, your parents. Nothing like this event. Bonus 2, our monthly Q&A resource calls for a full year. And then bonus 3, the one-on-one consulting call with one of my purpose consultants. All of that is included for the price point of $297. What an investment. So now what do you do next? Well, naturally, if you implement everything I just shared with you, you'll see amazing results launching and growing your nonprofit. You guys, it really is that simple. That's why you should invest into the Purpose into Profit system right now. So if you want to launch and grow a nonprofit, help a lot of people, live your passion every single day, make a terrific income, order now. Save money if you're one of the first 10, because we reward action takers. We have the best guarantee. You can test drive the course for 30 days risk-free. And I'm telling you, you better order now, because I'm going to be raising the investment this week. So do it now in this class. Get all the bonuses and let's get going. So you've watched the entire presentation. You want Purpose into Profits. And you guys agree this is an excellent value. You guys take advantage of the discount, the amazing bonuses, and they can't lose guarantee. So click the button below now, and I can't wait to see you on the other side.